I'll try some new jobs, some new positions. Some will work well, some won't. And then, but I like to do those projects now and in the spring to find out what a guy can do. And so I have a, high, standard for what I think he can do, but it'll take a while.
All right. So Law, we're listening to Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn, I love Dan Quinn. I have to say I got a man crush on Dan Quinn. He used to play nose guard, undersized. He understands what it's like to be in the trenches. But him talking about Sam, or should I say
Billy D. Williams talks about
D. Williams. Okay. Billy D.
Billy D, man. He get us all mixed up with that name, man.
That's because when you look it up, it's Sam Williams. You say D Williams. A lot of people don't understand. We're talking about Sam Williams. He's like, I want to be Sam. I am D for the Garrett. That's my middle name, and that's what everybody calls me. So go by D. Man, I'm excited about him. I think he might be the guy that makes us forget about Randy Gregory.
Already? I mean, before he even play it down, you already getting it out there.
Dude, have you seen the speed that he has?
I know he got
4.6.
It's speed. It's speed indeed.
With Randy, come on now. Randy, he had a good rush, but Randy would always get you that penalty. Randy would always have a penalty at the wrong damn time.
That's Randy for you, man. That's good old Randy Gregory for you. He would have that penalty, and on top of that, his max sacks in 1 year was what, 6?
Yeah.
So anything north of that would be a winning plus for us if we can get D. Williams 7 or 8 or 9 sacks. And just listening to Dan Quinn earlier today, that speed is something real. 4.4 speed is real.
I'm telling you, man. And, when you start thinking about the Cowboys defense, they are going to be one of the youngest, fastest, hardest hitting defenses out there because, you look at what Micah can do. And even a guy like Neville Gallimore, for his size, is actually very, very quick as well. And so you start getting that and put Micah Parsons, and you're going to be able to bring him from different locations. I feel like Dan Quinn is drooling right now with the possibilities and the combinations that he'll be able to put on there.
Man, most certainly. I always look at it like with this pickup, never look at these players as an isolated move, but not as an individual, but how they will work collectively. And I think that with Parsons going into his second year, and if we have a front, like I'm hearing noise, you've been banging on the table for many of years since I've been on YouTube about a big trash can full of dirt. Well, they got a guy that's 6'6", 330 pounds or 28 pounds. Talk to me about that one.
He's definitely a country eating somebody there, man. If you look at the thighs on him, if they can build up that upper body just a little bit more to match those hips and those thighs, dude will be an absolute positive beast. Now, I don't know if he's going to come out the box and be ready to rock and roll,
right?
But he looked pretty good in the films. He looked really good in the film.
Shoot. Dude, look dog good, man. I just look at it in Arkansas. They had Ridgeway playing down inside as that nose, and everybody on to the right or the left of him were smaller guys. And the same could be said about D. Williams. When you look at his film out of Ole Miss, he didn't have a lot of people with size. They didn't look gaudy as far as their size. Right. So it could be a situation and scenario that now that both of those guys got people on the side of them that can really penetrate and get upfield, it could be remarkable for both of those guys if they can translate to the field.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Well, we've had the offseason from hell where Stephen Jones has definitely taken a lot of flack.
Right.
Have we made it up in your mind? I mean, nobody can get past, I can understand the reasons that they may have gotten rid of Amari Cooper and the rumors that we've gotten from everybody is, he just doesn't have that dog in him like they're looking for. They want some people that are ride and die.
Right.
And that he may not be that ride and die guy.
Well, he checked out too much.
But what they gave him up for, being in such a hurry, was ridiculous. You think we'll forget about Amari Cooper by the end of the season?
Winning cures it all, but this is the same storyline of, hey, we're going to forget about Terrell Owens because now we have these young wide receivers. And I remember it was a struggle for us for that second year when we got rid of Terrell Owens. And I'm not saying that Coop is Terrell Owens, but the way
right,
the way they handled the situation, we could have got something more, right? Come on.
Yeah. Well, again, they were in such a hurry that they didn't see what the market was opening up. I almost feel like now wide receivers are getting to be like running backs, where you go ahead and play the hell out of them for that first contract, and then you just let them go and let them get paid somewhere else.
Well, that because of the wide receivers are getting quarterback money now. The next market wave is going to be $26 to $30 million. So that is what we were talking about like less than 4 years ago about paying the quarterbacks, So wide receivers will be getting quarterback money. And now when you talk about levels of production, who develop faster as it relates to college? Well, wide receivers do. So you can find, 4.3 speed, somebody that can run in and out of their cuts. Shoot, you can find that.
Here's my thing. Now, I remember having a conversation. I believe we were doing a string together, you, me, and Big Game James.
Okay.
This was some years ago.
Wow.
And I remember saying how much I love 12 personnel.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Game James like, man, I don't want to see no 12 personnel. I want 3 wideouts. And I kept saying, I said, no, man, because, I know what he was really saying.
Okay.
Use an old ass. That's what he was really saying. You trying to go back to the 70s, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And I was like, no, man. I said, if you got the right tight ends, you can do so many things out of 12 personnel.
Right.
Because I think of it like this. We have the anti-Debo. Okay. Debo is a wide receiver that's pretty good as a running back.
Right.
We got a running back who's pretty good as a wide receiver. So let's say hypothetically, Jake is pretty good as a tight end, that he can block and that he can actually catch. We know Dalton Schultz, he can catch pretty good too, right?
Right.
We line up in 12 personnel, 2 tight ends tight. We've got Tony Pollard in the backfield. It looks like a running formation, right?
Right.
They go heavy. They end up putting 8 men in the box. Well, how about you go ahead and take Dalton Schultz and split him out wide, and you put Tony Pollard in motion to the right there too. Now you got 3 wideouts over there. You got another wideout over here, and you can take that other tight end. And now you got big men that are trying to cover those guys. Yeah. You can go where they're not, and you can play action the hell out of them. Dak is pretty good at bootleg. If they don't go heavy, well, shit, let's just run down the throat then. We got, 7 guys to block and Zeke. That's what I'm thinking.
You're talking about classic good old football, man, whereas the offense manipulate the defense to doing something that they're not willing to do as far as personnel. And when you have 12 personnel and you have somebody that's fluent enough to run and take away the hook area, and also if you want to get cute and play quarters defense, drop 6 DBs or what have you, they're going to get tired down the line of getting hit and getting cracked when they pull in Tyler Smith, who's 330 pounds, who's looking for somebody to pancake.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that was one of the things that the Cowboys actually did pretty good last year. Because for me, everybody's got their bread and butter.
Right.
I'm not sure what the Cowboys' bread and butter is. We were good at so many different things, but when shit hit the fan, what was it that we say, let's run it till they stop it? We didn't really have anything.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have that staple play.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Even Scott Linehan had that staple reverse sweep,
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. At least he had something he'd fall back on. Right.
Right.
But I don't know what Kellen Moore, and I'm hoping that this year is the year that Kellen Moore's
still learning on the job.
Yeah, you're right.
He is learning on the job.
Look, how many years you played football, Mark? How many years you played football?
Oh shit! Let's see, 2, 4, 8 years.
8 years. So in your third year, you didn't know what you knew in 8 years.
No, not at all, not at all. But it
that's the price. That's the price of doing business with the Cowboys.
It is.
Though.
I just get sick of Stephen Jones with this whole, well, there's no excuses. And it's like this mother humper, Catboy, hasn't really done anything. If it weren't for Will McClay, we'd be the Jets. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Didn't the Jets go to a couple of AFC Championship games?
Yeah, with Butler.
Yeah.
Since we've been there. So I can't I can't even say that, we're the Jets.
I mean, we terrible if that happening, It's just how it goes, man, without Will McClay. So, and my thing is, without a quality coach, we are who we are now. And I'll bang the table if we had Parcells for the years that we had Jason Garrett, we would have at least been to the big dance.
Yeah.
Well, at least been to the championship round.
That's one of the ones that you look at and say, how could you get rid of Bill Parcells, but then hold on to Jason Garrett for all those years?
But now we're in the future, man. So Dan Quinn got his back against the wall, right? And you said you had your man crush on Dan Quinn.
Yeah, you mean Mike McCarthy got his back against the wall?
Yeah.
I think Dan Quinn is the anointed one.
Yeah, Dan Quinn is the anointed one. I meant to say Mike McCarthy got his back against the wall. My biggest gripe against Mike McCarthy is last year he saw his son. I'm just going to use it as an analogy. He saw his son burning up the kitchen, and he refused to pour water.
Yeah.
To at least stop the fire, right? Or at least step in and say, son, this is how I cook, right?
Yeah. But see, here's the thing though. Here's what I think. This is what I think. And maybe this is crazy and maybe this is off cue. But I think that Mike McCarthy was seeing the writing on the wall that this is the boy wonder that's here to take my place.
Right.
So if you go in and save his ass, it might be cutting your own throat. So in a way, you're saying, you know what? Let him go ahead and fail. So that way it takes some of that pressure of him taking my place out the way.
I mean, you're right.
Because quite frankly, he, at the season-ending press conference, his first thing was, well, did you think about taking over? Did you call plays or something? He said, no, the guy who does the install does the play calling. And so Kellen does the install. So he's going to do the play. So it was like, you basically said, that's the guy that screwed up that offense. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how it is you're the guy who's won a Super Bowl and playoff games and worked with Aaron Rodgers, why we're deferring to Kellen Moore,
exactly,
who hasn't won a playoff game.
But you do know what happened if he was to do that and we didn't win or we lose, then what would be the point of keeping him? You see, he keep his rights when he did that. You remember when Harbaugh, he was having a horrible year one year.
Right.
And he was like, well, I'm going to take the plays and I'm going to call them. They won the Super Bowl that year. I wonder if he never did that and they were to lose, would he still have his job?
Mm-hmm.
See, it goes both ways.
Good point.
Mike McCarthy should do the same thing.
Well,
he don't have those set of cojones though,
Yeah, and he's got Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones that are over top of him.
He's a yes man. That's what it is.
That have their personal favorite. Because see, I believe that right now it feels like Dan Quinn is the guy who's got all the power in the organization. Because I think it's like he's the new thing that they got. Defense is now cool again.
Yeah.
And they look at him and what he was able to do with. Let's be clear, we started out that defense with nothing.
Yeah.
If you go back to this time last year when we were signing like Malik Hooker and Keanu Neals and Carlos Watkins and Brett Urban, there wasn't a single guy after you said, oh my God, man, I can't believe we got that guy. Our defense is going to be good. You were looking at Jalen Smith that we were just like, Jalen's getting dragged down the field 5 yards. You got Van Der Esch who couldn't stay healthy, right? You had D-Law who we looked at and said, man, he's been disappointing the last couple of years since he got paid. You sit there, if you're another team, how many players on that defense last year before the season did you say, I want to get that guy? There weren't many.
Not many at all.
You might say, okay, Diggs, yeah, we'll take him. He's a young D-back. He got a few interceptions. You might have said D-Law. But other than that, there weren't any people that were popular really demand that hard.
Right.
And you looked at that defense to do what they did, and you kind of said, man, he made that shit shine.
Right.
So now we got these guys that are here, and, now you've seen the influence because that the Cowboys never draft a one technique guy.
Not a fat guy either. Earlier in the draft.
Like you said, I've been screaming and yelling, man, we need that man in the middle.
Yeah,
right. they don't do it.
Right.
But they've done it now.
They did it now twice, back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, two fat guys.
Well, what do you think about the law? Since I'm talking to our resident attorney, what do you think about the law firm that we have on the offensive line? Smith and Smith.
Smith and Smith, man, they're going to shut down that side of the field. I like both of them. Of course, Tyron, if he can just teach Tyler. Tyler teach Tyler, right?
Yeah, to take over his job.
If he could just stay healthy, he's got to stay healthy, man.
Yep. Even if if Tyron just take off a year, he can probably rejuvenate himself back for 2 years. And Matt let's go. Let him get it going, and maybe we can have something rolling. But I prefer Tyron Smith to just be out there until he get hurt.
Right. Well, I mean, you got no choice on that. I mean, you got to.
Right.
But what you got to be prepared for is when he's not there. That's always been our feeling. Everybody goes through and say, well, Dak regressed, but there were so many different hits that we took all at the same time, from Tyron Smith getting hurt, from the PCL for Zeke Elliott. And I think Zeke, the offensive line, is doing what they're supposed to. I think he's going to be okay.
Right.
Then you had Tony Pollard go out. Then you had Amari Cooper go out. And then we ended up switching from Connor Williams to Connor McGovern. And when Tyron went out, we took Terrence Steele, who was playing great on the right, shifted him to the left. It was just like many different things happened to that offense that they weren't anywhere near. And then Kellen Moore, I still don't understand why we didn't run anything 12 personnel in the playoffs. Not one play.
That or even attack on the outside. I get it. You run the ball, you run slams, 21 slam in the middle, inside, and that is the weakest part of our offensive line. Whereas we didn't get a lot of strength plays out of Tyler Biotish as well as Connor Williams. So, and then he did a trick play with Terrence Steele, I believe, and somebody else running an out route or running an inside hook route. And I was like, come on, dude, that's not the time to do it. So I think that he kind of wet the bed with his play calling and his designs. When they did decide to run on the outside versus the 49ers, he didn't stick to it. The Cowboys actually ran a play, and they got 5.5 yards off of it. So sometimes with running the ball, you played the game. You got to be stubborn enough to know. I'm going to ask everybody in your chat, in my chat as well, what's 4 times 3?
12.
Yeah, that's first down. So if you can get 4 yards, run it. And don't be afraid to hit it on the edge. And I get it. The offensive line was porous, but sometimes when you're looking at a defense that's dropping 6 DBs or playing quarters, you may only get 4 yards. Their linebackers did a great job of chasing to the ball, but run it till they get out of that personnel look. And I think what flourished with Dak Prescott, you may only get 4 yards. Say again.
I'm sorry, I messed up on the feed.
No, but here's what I want people to understand: the kind of caliber of quarterback that with Dak Prescott for the first 3, or maybe say the first 4 years of Dak Prescott, teams been loading the blocks and saying, "Hey, beat us on the outside, Dak. Do you have it?" Dak can kill you with single high look all day. That's his pedigree because he's been practicing and molded into it. But when you try to drop 6 DBs and they saying, hey, why don't Dak Prescott force it into it? Well, I encourage people to look at these 2 games.
Yeah.
Look at the Cincinnati versus the Kansas City Chiefs second half when they played quarters defense and they said, okay, Pat Mahomes, beat us in the air, and we'll give you the underneath. And Eli Apple shut down Tyreek Hill. And that's crazy, And I want you guys to also, and I know this guy always get the pass. It's been 13 years since he won the Super Bowl, but I get it. He got him one. But if you look at the same 49ers defense versus Aaron Rodgers, who I believe got $154 million guaranteed on his new contract.
And an MVP.
And he couldn't beat that quarters defense. Why?
Couldn't get in the end zone.
Couldn't get it in the end zone. Why?
Yeah. That's one of those ones that always kill me. Yeah, Cowboys suck. You lost to the 49ers. It's like, well, the Super Bowl, the MVP had the exact same number of touchdown passes as Dak, 37 last year.
Wow.
And Pat Mahomes, 37 touchdown passes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now you want to hear some really crazy ones?
Talk to
Do you know how many quarterbacks have thrown for more than 37 touchdown passes?
I don't know.
Only in the history of football. Now I will give you that, they weren't throwing as many touchdown passes 20 years ago.
Right.
There's only 17.
Wow.
There's only 17 quarterbacks that have thrown for more than 37 touchdown passes, 37 or more.
Mm.
And if we actually go through to that season where he had 4,902 yards, 1 yard short of Tony Romo's,
right,
there's only 19 quarterbacks that have thrown for more yards than that season.
Wow.
Now, that's a garbage quarterback. That's what people will tell you, that's a garbage quarterback and that he's got the most pressure on. I'm trying to understand, how does he have more pressure than, say, Tua?
Oh yeah, Tua got a lot. Oh my God! But their fan base and their community, they're not asking for blood.
Yeah, but let's think about this though. Mm-hmm. Let's say Dak had a bad season and Jerry Jones got pissed and said, "You know what? I'm getting rid of you," like he did Amari Cooper. How long do you think Dak Prescott would be unemployed?
How long
it
won't be a day.
You might be able to get two number ones for Dak Prescott.
If Tua, after getting Tariq Hill and everything else, comes through and plays like ass, how many teams are you going to look at him and say, you know what, we want to pay you a whole bunch of money to be our starting quarterback?
You know what would happen? This would happen right here.
What?
We got breaking news that all of a sudden the Washington Commanders are now trading, are now picking up Ray Dakota Prescott.
Right. Seriously. You're going to tell me that Dak has more pressure than Carson Wentz?
Oh, yeah.
They set his ass up with the Jaguars as the first game, knowing that his ass lost to the Jaguars that kept him out of the playoffs.
Face plant. No, it was a face plant in that game. Face plant.
So the team that got your ass kicked out of Indianapolis and sent to purgatory in Washington, you got to face that team week one.
Oh, wow. I never even looked at it that way. Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was them. All they had to do was beat the Jaguars, and they're in the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
And he threw 3 interceptions to those guys.
And fell flat on his face, too.
Flat on his face. Well, he got his number one target receiver with the Cowboys. His name is Trayvon Diggs. So I can't wait to see the Washington.
Yeah.
Around this time last year, we couldn't keep Washington fans up out of our chats. Now they're gone. Like all of a sudden.
Man. Well, they've been replaced by Eagle ones.
Like now the Eagles are like the Eagles. Every time I just go live, I see Eagles.
Here's the thing. It doesn't make sense to me. What did we score? 92 points against them last year?
Yeah.
Right? We got a quarterback that's 25-6 in the division, and you would have thought that they kicked our ass twice last year. I'm not saying that they're not a better team. They may be better than us. I don't know.
They're better than us on this right here.
On paper.
On paper.
But you know what? I'm not putting out all that stuff because I tell you what, Eagles fans, I'm going to tell you, Philly 500, you better not let the Cowboys come in there and kick your ass because I am seriously, I'm going to troll the hell out of you.
5 picks for Jordan Davis. I would never pick a player.
The craziest thing of it all is that the last time they beat us, we had Ben DiNucci out there, and they struggled to beat him.
Right. You're right. So everybody's talking about us saying we got the easiest schedule in the NFL. Yeah. Do you believe that? I'm sitting looking at the Eagles.
I think we can win at least 12 games.
The Eagles look pretty simple to me.
Yeah. It is what it is at this point.
12.
Everybody's easy until you got to still play it. That's what people fail to realize. You still got to play it.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to play the game, and I know they go strength of schedule based upon last year results or what have you, but this is parity in the NFL. You want every team to be competitive. You want every team to compete. Teams changed rosters, I believe, 50 to 60%.
Yep.
So that doesn't matter what you did last year. It's a year-to-year league. So strength of schedule is just BS.
Oh, I agree with you. Jason D says, hi, Mark, and James Harden, what's up? All right. I think the Cowboys go 11-6.
11-6.
I think that's a safe bet. I'm worried about going out the gate, because Tampa Bay, we have them at home. I think that helps. I think Tom Brady, of course, is a year older. I don't know that Gronk's going to be coming back, and I know that roster is an older roster.
Right.
And these young dogs may be able to run circles against them. The thing that I think that gives us a chance against Tom Brady is we're going to be able to put pressure in his face, and he does not like pressure in his face. And I think if Dan Quinn can dial it up and he can get from that front 4 or 5 pressure on Tom Brady, that we got a good chance in that game. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, pressure bust pipes, and you got to come out fast with the Buccaneers. They looking for revenge for what they did last year, not against us, but what they did last year. They don't have Antonio Brown, so I'm good. If we don't have that aficionado crew that was calling the game the last time we played them, so I'm always going to be looking at the
and that's every week. We get bullshit ass calls that we should be. Yeah,
right.
That's every week.
Right. And we don't have the kicker anymore, man. The kicker, he said if he made the kick, we would have won the game. So we got Garibay, Jonathan Garibay. Y'all write his name.
But it's all Dak Prescott because Dak sucks.
No,
Dak sucks. We always, every game we ever lose is because of Dak. Okay, you know that.
Oh, well, we call it out. You know that. It's Dak. It's Dak
right,
problems, man.
Well, I still think that we're going to be one of the younger teams now. I mean, I'm looking at D-Law and Tyron Smith. I think they're the oldest guys on the roster, aren't they?
Yeah. D-Law and Tyron Smith. Yeah,
and then right behind him would be Zach Martin.
Yeah, Zach Martin's up there.
But
too.
everybody else in there, this is a young team. So I think that they're going to be able to put that speed out there. As Dan Quinn says, we're going to be fast and we like to be physical. And I think they're going to have a little bit of aggression this year. So then we got, of course, Cincinnati.
I think we could beat them.
And Cincinnati, Super Bowl hangover, 1 year wonder.
Well, you got a chance to witness Dan Marino, right?
Mm-hmm.
That 1 year he had, and
I think okay. Read between the line. Your old ass got to see Dan Marino play.
I don't even remember seeing him play.
I believe that was 1984 when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was before my time.
Yeah, and he figured he was going to be back every year, but never got back.
Right.
Never got back.
Right. And we had our Danny White moment. When I was watching Danny White, I thought the world of him, but he just could never get over that one little hump there.
Hold on, Law.
Talk to me.
I could be happy if we actually went to 3 NFC Championship games in a row right now.
No.
Right. As much as we're killing Danny White, I'd be happy if we went to 3 NFC Championships. I'd be happy if we just went to 1 right now.
You would take that right now? I'm greedy. I'm greedy, though. I'm greedy. I think that, like, my brother, he's a diehard 49er fan.
Yeah.
And he is miserable. He's in misery. Because we got the same amount of Super Bowl. We talk about it's been 26 years for us.
Right.
But it's been 27 years for them, right?
Yeah.
And he still throws up. He still throws up about losing in those 2 Super Bowls against who they lost to, the Ravens, and they lost to the Pat Mahomes, what have you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you would rather go there and lose?
Hey, look,
or not
at
go
this
there
point,
at all?
I would at least get past the first. That's the thing that I'm sick of, is that we can't seem to get. I mean, we got past it once with Dak.
Yeah, we lost.
Where we ended up beating Seattle.
Yeah, then we lost to the Rams.
Okay, that gave us some hope. Yeah, and we lost to the Rams because we couldn't. Jeff Heath and Sean Lee could not stop Jared Goff on that running play. It's always some crazy shit like Aaron Rodgers with some miracle play or something that kills
kick
us.
Return where my dude's groin was pulling. And he had daylight too, and he tripped over himself.
Yeah,
that would have won the game just that play alone.
I think we had the not the Giants, but the Green Bay on the ropes.
Oh, we did
2016. It's just that they didn't call that holding call. I can cry about it later, but they didn't call that holding call. And for the life of me, I don't know how Aaron Rodgers held on to that ball.
I don't know either.
When we was it Scandrick or was it Heath?
Yeah, they were bearing down on. I think it was Heath.
I said, man, my God, yeah, it was crazy.
It's like, and it was just like, how did he hit that pass?
How you get that pass?
That sideline, the knee bend. I mean, it's just like that was just like the football gods are saying, "Screw you, Jerry Jones. We're gonna make sure that this shit hurts." Yeah. Just like the catch, no catch. It's just like we have lost so many games where it's painful. It's one thing to lose, but when you remember when we lost to Matt Flynn and the Green Bay Packers, we were up 26-3 at halftime.
Yeah, man.
And here it is, Matt Flynn ends up coming back and beating our. I mean, it's just like those are the ones that just like sting the worst.
So you got the Green Bay game circled on your calendar, huh?
Well, actually, I'm thinking about going to the New York Giants game, week 3. Okay, because and unfortunately the Commanders then are the next week, but we're playing that one in Dallas. Maybe we'll want to go to that one, Mike. Go see Washington Commanders in Dallas. We'll go there week 4.
Week 4.
Because they screwed me because I always had the big tailgate. FedEx Field.
You can still have the big tailgate. I just want to be
week 17 in January when it's probably going to be a meaningless game.
Well, we could go in there.
In the cold?
Well, look at it this way, though. I don't think we're going to win the first game of the playoffs. I hate to say it, but so
what?
Playoffs. So if we actually do make the playoffs, it'll be a good game to have that last hurrah.
Okay, all right. Listen, I'm still on week 4. You talking about playoffs?
Playoffs.
The damn Eagle fans, man. They already have their Super Bowl tickets punched.
I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl. Now they're delusional. I don't believe we're going to the Super Bowl.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask all of y'all.
Go ahead.
And some of the Eagle fans, is A.J. Brown elite? At first I thought y'all mics was done.
No, that was crickets. Playing the crickets on that one. But they think he is. But, there's some teams that they're known for stuff, okay? It seems like it doesn't matter. If you're a receiver and you go to Philadelphia, your career is over with.
Yeah,
have you noticed that? It doesn't matter if you're Alshon Jeffries, if you're Rhaegar, if you're Charlie Dakota Whiteside. I'm not even sure Devontae Smith is going to be able to turn it around. It's just something about that. It's like Washington. If you're a quarterback, you don't want to go to Washington because it's like it's the Bermuda Triangle where you may get maimed being there. Ryan Fitzpatrick, how many loser teams did Ryan Fitzpatrick survive? Oh. He did the NFL tour. He couldn't make it out of the first half of a game in Washington. Do we actually think Carson Wentz is going to be coming out of there upright?
Their line is trash.
Yeah, their
line is trash.
Yeah, it is kind of terrible,
All right, so we got the Rams, which could be almost a home game in LA. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of Cowboy fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
Could they have the Super Bowl hangover?
I hope so. And now there's a new love affair for Matthew Stafford. All of a sudden now he's the best quarterback since sliced bread, and he's better. He's light years ahead of Dak Prescott. Shout out to him. So we in trouble. And we in trouble because we facing the number 1 defense in the National Football League last year. We facing the best quarterback that everybody laid eyes upon last year. Now all of a sudden, and I don't think that Stafford ever head-to-head matchup ever beaten the Dallas Cowboys outside of when we had Tony Romo under center. So we'll find out, man. And of course they don't have Odell Beckham, right? So it's going to be Cooper Kupp. I don't know if Robert Woods would be ready at the time,
right?
But we'll find out, man. We'll find out. How you guys feeling?
Well, of course, then we got the Eagles.
Well, that's going to be a W.
Okay, and then the Lions.
That's another W.
my worry is we got 4 playoff teams.
Right.
The first 6 games, from last year. I mean, okay, we got Tampa Bay, the Bengals, the the Rams, and the Eagles. We figure
the Eagles.
We got the Commanders and the Lions are the two easier games. Washington may be a better team. For Carson Wentz does go through and have a few good games, and then he has clunkers. It may be that he has a good one against the Cowboys, but okay. No, he won't.
Oh, they got Allen Robinson. My bad. So yeah, they got some firepower. Somebody let me know on the Rams.
Oh, they've signed some players now.
Yeah.
They've signed a whole lot of players, unlike Catboy, but they kind of had to because their first pick wasn't until the third round. So that was kind of like their draft. My worry is that we come out of the first 6 games 3-3.
Oh wow.
I'm just saying that I mean, okay, it's conceivable you could lose to Tampa Bay. It's conceivable you could lose to the Rams, and between the Bengals, Giants, Commanders, Eagles, and Lions, you could lose one of those.
Okay.
I'm just saying, worst case, I think you go 3-3 to start the season. The good thing is then we got the Bears.
Okay.
The Lions and then the Bears, which helps to hopefully get you back on track. And then you got a bye week before we see Aaron Rodgers in November.
But you know what? I was talking with my guy, Boss Cowboy, the other day, and you always got that aha moment, right? A team that can sneak up on you. Who's the Bears head coach over there?
Oh, God, I can't think of his name right now. Shit.
It's Matt Eberflus.
That's right.
Right, and
that's what
if anybody that knows Kellen Moore,
it'll be Matt. You're right.
And Dak Prescott is Matt, and he was the guy that showed the blueprint in 2018 on how to slow down and stop this Cowboys team.
Yeah,
he showed the blueprint.
It was the Colts.
It was the Colts. He was the DC there.
This picture, picture.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we'll be looking at the Chicago Bears closely to see whether or not they would try to do some of the things, because I always look at matchups when I see the opposing teams, like what do they have over such and such, right? What is your record coming in when you're leading or when you score first, those type of things. So Eberflus, he going to be a guy that knows Dak Prescott that can pretty much pinpoint what Kellen Moore is trying to do, and that could be a wrinkle or a thorn in our side.
Well, maybe Kellen Moore has had some time to work. Now that we don't have Amari Cooper, he has to start looking at things from a different perspective of doing things a little bit differently. But you make a great point there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that year we didn't see the Colts, right? We were like, okay, they're a hungry team, but, we are better, We was on a roll. Everybody was like, man, the Cowboys are red hot. And then they start having chains, talking about hot boys and everything. And the defense, they was talking about the defense was top-tier defense, but the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed because teams were too shy to run because they knew that they had to keep up scoring.
Right.
And all Marlon Mack and the other running back did was just ran down our throats, and it gave us physicality. And then we kind of bounced back, and then when we got back into the playoffs or what have you, the Rams said, you know what? With C.J. Anderson, we're going to run the rock.
Yep.
But now I believe our guys can stop the run. I wish we had this defense there,
Yeah, oh, definitely. And that's where I think getting my man in the middle is definitely going to help. And the thing is everybody's looking at this year's draft to say, oh, these guys are going to really help. I don't know that it's going to be as much as those guys as it is the guys from last year's draft that takes another step. Because, you think about Osi and Igazua. He scratched the surface last year. He played really, really well. If he can go ahead and take another step, that's going to be major. If we can get, not Tristan Hill, I think will be cut. But Neville Gallimore, he was slowed down because of the hyperextended elbow. That brother is big, and I remember Trim trucking Mike Pouncey, against the Steelers. He literally pushed Mike Pouncey into Ben Roethlisberger's lap, and I think that's one of the reasons why he decided, I'm going to go ahead and retire because these young mother humpers get pretty tough. If he steps up pretty much, that defense is going to be better. And when you start thinking about Jabril Cox, and I think that they have a lot of faith in him, because they hadn't gone out and really, I mean, we got my man Damian Clark, but we know he is on the Jalen Smith track, you know, to kind of redshirt the year and hope that he's going to be a dominant player down the road. But they have a lot of faith in Jabril Cox. So if we can get these guys really rocking and rolling, that defense can take off. And then these other guys can be more of a supplement to kind of learn the ropes and start getting their feet wet towards the end of the season and really start to be able to play a role.
Man, I'm hoping for it. You know, Damone Clark, he is going to take a minute. He's going to be a guy that we can all look back and go over film and said, hey, nobody in the SEC had more tackles than him.
Oh,
right?
my God. He doubled Nakobe Dean's stats, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You look at them. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Everybody's so hyped on Nakobe Dean, that short ass, 5'10", offside linebacker. I was like, you see these numbers for Clark? So I can see why they took a chance 5th round. That's no risk right there. If it works out, great. If it didn't, okay, it's a 5th round pick. But if he can recover, that guy is a beast.
I think they can.
Yeah, you match him up, man, with what we got out of Parsons, and then when Jabril Cox get back into the fold, it's going to look nice. Yeah. Now, the only thing that I give the Eagles a little leeway on it is that they did get Jordan Davis, right? So they got Jordan Davis and Dean, and those boys played together. But we'll find out when it's time to really play on the field, though. So that's an old wait and pause moment for me.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a rotational
guy.
Yeah,
see if he gets winded out there with all the big boys and stuff.
And they got Hassan too, though, and he had 15 sacks last season.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough.
But here's the good thing. And before the Eagles start putting all of the Eagles droplings and everything in emojis.
Oh, they've already been doing it.
They've already been doing it. But we played against Hassan last year, right? And he had Big Derek Brown. See, I know Eagles fans, they don't watch tape or what have you, but he had Big Derek Brown in the inside, and he was out there on the edge. And I think Ezekiel Elliott still rushed for 140 yards. Now, of course, that was when they was with the Carolina Panthers, but at the time, the Carolina Panthers was 3-0. They was the number 2 team in rush defense, and I don't want to hear it. And we played the Eagles. They were the number 1 team in rush defense, and we ran the ball on them. Both of those teams, they were holding that L. So, I know they don't watch film, but they would say, "Oh man, we got his side."
No, but here's the thing: when you go through and say we scored 92 points, you can't count that game number 3.
Please.
It was too early in the season. We had a new coach, and we were resting people. That last game that we played you and everything. So those 2 games don't count. I'm like, seriously. I said, if you don't count those,
pull up that
how do you count
game.
beating the Washington COVIDs where they had 22 players out?
No, Washington should have beaten them.
Right?
They played terrible in that game, too.
Yeah.
They should have lost that game.
All right, so going down the stretch, like I said, once we get past the Packers, I mean, we got the Vikings, we got the Giants, we got the Colts, we got the Texans, we got the Jaguars, we got the Eagles, we got the Titans, and then the Commanders. And see, that's when I think we really feast is the second half of the season. Michael Gallup should be back. Our rookies should have gotten their legs underneath of us and stuff. Right. And we can put in that second wave. So I think we finish the season maybe strong. I think 11-6. Where are you sitting?
I said 12-5 is our floor. My expectation for the Cowboys, I'm not going to do my full record prediction, but I think 12-5 is our floor.
12-5 too.
We went 12-5 last year, and I want us to be better than what we did last year. But, we kind of limped into the playoff, Mark. We did.
Oh, we did. Well, we did. The offense did. I mean, let's be clear.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they don't want to go ahead and admit it, but, first of all, you had Dak coming back from a major injury.
Big fan.
Remember,
injuries.
He couldn't practice in training camp. He could. I mean, think about it. He couldn't throw because of the shoulder injury, right?
Right.
He was, rehabbing the hell out of that ankle. And as much as they say, he's ready to go, there's a difference of being ready to go and actually being 100% to be able to play.
Right.
I kept seeing him doing a lot of this passing where he's jumping and he's up in the air because I don't think he could push off, and I don't think that calf was as good as they said. When you think about Michael Gallup had a calf injury It kept him out, what, 8 games?
Yeah.
Dak only sat out 1. Was that calf really right?
Big
They
facts.
did that whole where they
Blood
take
out
your
here.
blood out and they put it through a centrifuge to take the stem cells and inject in his calf and stuff to try and promote the healing. We don't know how bad that calf was. We know he had to get shoulder surgery on his other shoulder. So he was battered.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, after he got COVID, missed the game when he finally, or 2 games, and finally came back. He was not quite 100%. And after
Right.
that, he seemed like he checked out.
Exactly.
Tony Pollard with the plantar fasciitis, torn foot. Zeke Elliott with the PCL. And even when Tyron Smith came back, he wasn't really a full go. He was out there on one leg. So, yeah, we definitely were limping into the playoffs.
We did.
If we have injuries like that, then we'll probably be limping in there again. But there were reasons behind that offense kind of taking a step back.
Yeah. I mean, you spitting right on the money, man. We had the calf monster. It used to be the hamstring monster.
Yeah.
But we had 3 guys with calf injuries, and that's an alarming situation.
Yeah. That is, and hopefully that doesn't happen this year. Because I don't ever remember people having calf injuries.
Right, not in the Cowboys. I said all of a sudden it was like contagious.
But you're right with the hamstring. Because Sean Lee, man, he get off the bus to pull a hamstring. Miles Austin, man, his was like rubber bands that he was always pulling.
Yeah, man.
Our strength coach passed, I thought.
Well, we did lose.
And he was one of the good ones too. Something good we got from the Giants.
Maybe that had something to do with it too.
Right, rest in peace to that, bro.
But they've got to get in shape. What makes me feel good, at least, about this year is the fact that Dak is 100% right now, and he's out there working with the guys. That D-Law has been 100% and been there from the captain's workouts on. And hopefully, now that he got the new contract, that he's going to come through and try and make some noise and things. So maybe starting the year out, with the exception of Michael Gallup, we're going to be in a better place than we were before. And maybe, just maybe, James Washington ends up doing what's typical when receivers come and play with Dak Prescott.
Rejuvenation, huh?
Here's the thing that's kind of interesting, because I've gone through the numbers.
Right.
Let's take Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb's peak was, I think, 2015 with Aaron Rodgers. After that time, his numbers just kept going downhill to the point where they said, you got to get up out of here. You just suck. He went from like 14.1 yards per completion down to like 10.
Right.
He comes with Dak. He ends up going 14.9 yards per completion. Right?
Yep.
To the point where the Texans got rid of Hopkins and made him their number 1 wide receiver, paid him a boatload of money. Right? Because they said, hey, this guy can still play.
Right.
And his numbers went from 14.9 with who was throwing to him? Deshaun Watson.
There you go.
Okay. So everybody talks about how Dak is trash. His numbers go from 14.9 per completion down to like 12 something. So how is it that all of a sudden you got Deshaun Watson everybody wants throwing to him, his numbers drop down? He then goes back with Aaron Rodgers. They improved to like 13 something, but not anywhere near where they were with Dak. When Amari came here, remember, Amari's numbers, they had given up. The Raiders thought they fleeced us. They knew we're going to have a top 10 pick. We got rid of this guy. He can't play. We got the Cowboys. He got there with Dak. He had career records in yards per completion. And guy from Miami ended up breaking his ankle. Same thing. So every time a receiver has come here from someplace else, their numbers explode with Dak Prescott to career highs. If that happens with James Washington, who fell out of favor, they just stopped playing him because they just didn't like him anymore.
Right. I heard about that.
You might end up seeing him actually have some decent numbers that will help out. And then our 3rd round draft pick, you may see him being able to step in there because he's a big receiver. Yeah,
he's 4'4" guy, and Jalen Tolbert, he's like, he's Gallup, right? And with the aspect of CeeDee Lamb. And one thing that we got to do with CeeDee Lamb is still stay unique with him, move him anywhere on the field. And Dak Prescott threw 10 interceptions last year, but 6 out of 10 came in the direction of CeeDee Lamb. A few of them was on Dak Prescott throwing it too high, and a few of them was it on CeeDee Lamb for him ball bouncing off his hands. He had 7 drops last season. So CeeDee Lamb is going to have to step up real talk. He's going to have to step up because now he's going to be facing the number 1 and occasionally the number 2 DB juxtaposed to the number 3 and number 2. So he's going to have a full plate.
Well, I think he's playing for that contract extension this year. I think the Cowboys will look to go ahead and get that thing done at the end of this year instead of waiting another year to let that money keep on rising. So to me, this may be that contract year for him.
Well, they got a deal whereas they got to do him and Trayvon Diggs. Diggs' counterpart, was it Ward? Was his name over there in Cleveland? Denzel Ward.
He got paid big time.
21, 22 million. So Diggs is going to be right there with 23, 24 million. And CeeDee Lamb, just based off of what he can bring to the table this season, probably propelled him to get to what Debo is trying to get, 28 million.
High 20s, yeah. Yep. Well, to me, the key for the season is that the Cowboys' offensive line has got to be able to open up some holes to get Zeke going.
Yeah.
If they can get that running game and get balanced, because we weren't balanced at all the second half of the season. We could not run the ball. When we had games where Zeke and Tony Pollard are getting like 25 yards apiece, it's just hard to win. You're just one-dimensional, and teams are going to be able to lock you down. So we've got to get that running game going in that offensive line. D2 Stu, what's up? Shout out to Stuart. I was let me mention Stuart right now because Stuart Morrison. I was talking to you earlier today about my man Stuart Morrison has been a big fan of yours for a long time. Stuart is Mr. Fantasy Football. He can literally be like Rain Man and just pull those numbers just right out of his head. Boom.
That's good.
Stuart has got a very rare cancer that he's working on right now. He's been in a wheelchair for 16 years, and his mother, 79-year-old mother, has actually been taking care of him. So what we're going to be doing is we are coming to Dallas, I believe, the first week of June. I'm still coordinating everything else. We're going to be bringing, I know Mark Torres is here. He's bringing the big barbecue pit. I know Randy Seitz is coming down with his son because they're going to be coming to help through us. I believe we have the roofers that work on AT&T Stadium. They're going to be coming through and putting on a new roof on the house.
Oh,
wow. Yeah.
Certified.
And what I'm hoping is, and I'm going to put them on blast right now, is that we can bring the law by on one of those days to stop by, racist presence and stuff, and bless the occasion.
Yeah, man. I could throw sheetrock here and there, man. But as far as getting up on top of that roof,
no, I'm not getting. No, that's why I got. Look, they go. I'm gonna watch them on the ground. Good job.
It take a certain kind of it take a certain type of person to get up on top of that roof, man.
I can
throw them shingles around.
That's right. Now he's got the one thing that doesn't need to be worked on is the pool in the back.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have, after we get some of this work, because anybody want to come and work for food, we're gonna be cooking some Joe Blue wings and stuff, and we're gonna be having some pulled pork and everything else. We're gonna turn it into a house party. A house fix-up party, as opposed to tear the house down.
That's something we can do,
Yeah, definitely. But but the being early June here, we'll be around the OTAs and stuff. We'll definitely go by the Star and check that out and see everybody and everything else. And so if you guys want to help out, we do have a GoFundMe that's set up for it. It's in my community tab.
It's on the pinned comment too.
Oh, you pinned it. Okay, there you go. Mike actually pinned it right there.
You pinned it? Okay, I was trying to get it over here on this end. Okay. All right.
We've actually raised already over $2,300. So shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everybody.
Yeah, no, we've been rocking and rolling and stuff, and we appreciate that. We're gonna be, when we get down there, I'm gonna be making a bunch of pieces, and we're gonna be giving stuff away and all that. We'll be live streaming and stuff in there, so we'll be definitely doing that. So, are you hyped for the season, Law? Are you ready?
Man, I'm ready for the season, man. I'm flat out ready for the season. I'm ready for the moment. I got high optimism, even though I try to give everybody objective analysis. It's hard, right? But in the heart of me, I can't wait for the season to kick off.
Oh my God, I can't either. Yeah. I'm like, hey, we've already made it through the winter. We've already got the OTAs and stuff. So we're not far away.
We're not.
We are not that far away here because it's already getting close to the end of spring. So I'm excited. Are you going to be in Oxnard?
Yeah, I'm trying to get out to Oxnard the opening week and just probably stay a longer time, you know. And Oxnard been good to me, and the people out there in the Cowboys community been wonderful. It's a blast out there. So we got family members on that side of the world too. So yeah, it would be a good time to go ahead and schedule my vacation over there, workcation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm thinking about last year we did the Hall of Fame, which was cool. Seeing Drew Pearson, seeing
Our coach.
Oh, man, I really am getting old. Jimmy Johnson going in. And Cliff Harris. That was kind of, you know, special to see 3 Cowboys going in that same weekend and stuff, and seeing the Cowboys play that first game, preseason game. But I'm thinking about doing Oxnard again this year.
Man, it would be a blast, man. You know, it'll be a blast, man. You and we probably get Shango to come back out again, and I know Shango.
The Hollywood.
Yeah, the Hollywood Shango.
Yeah.
We'll have a blast, man. We'll have a blast, man.
Yeah,
does.
That year we played the Rams in preseason.
Yeah, that's when we met him the first time.
We did have a ball then. We did. I think that was 2018.
That's when I went to the LA Coliseum.
Yeah. That was
a blast to go there too.
Okay. All right. Well, Lon, I appreciate, because I know you are a busy man. I knew you were doing a live stream before you came on here. You know, here's this is how crazy it is. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see this right here, right? This is Philly 500 is literally constantly sending me pictures of DeMario Davis, picture after picture after picture. Look, there must be 15 pictures in the last 15 minutes that he said. See, I'm telling you,
wait.
you Eagles, you are writing checks that you're behind can't cash.
Right.
You guys better not slip up, man. You better not slip up. I'm not tomorrow. I said Jordan Davis.
I was about to say.
I mean, Jordan.
I was about to say.
You know I slip up all the time, son. Damn. Listen, I played nose tackle. You don't understand. There's nothing but brain trauma. But everybody who's in here, I know everybody knows Law Nation and everything else. If you haven't subbed up to Law Nation, man, you're missing something special. And I know my man DMV's in the house. DMV, I think, is only like 40 people away.
No, he sounds like 34.
Okay, 34 away.
Yeah, that's what
and you know what, DMV? You know, you may not realize it. When you get to 5,000, you're eating this mother humper.
Wait,
no, you're coming over here and you're eating this mother humping. This is the double one here. This is the Carolina Reaper and Scorpion Pepper. This is a double dose. When you get to 5,000, you're coming over here and you're eating this mother humper. All right?
Oh, wow.
And you know, I tell you what. No. Ooh, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it for charity. What we're going to do is, DMV, I'm issuing you a challenge, man. You come over here and do this chip challenge, and every super chat that we get will go to the Stuart Morrison Home Rebuild Project. How about that?
Man, you got one of those for real. Yeah.
I won't be here for next weekend.
Okay.
Plenty of milk.
Yeah, you can definitely do that, can't you, DMV? DMV's like, screw you on that one.
No, he's the one I said do it at 5.
He said he would do it at 5. So he's
gonna have to do
he's only 30 some away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man up.
Yeah, so we're gonna make that an event. We're gonna make
whoa. We got 1,000 people in here, so he should get it tonight.
Okay. 1,000 people. Well, no, views. Okay.
Well,
okay. Now
we still got enough people in here. If 30 some people go sub up,
there you go.
He'll get it tonight.
There you go. Right.
Man, that's gonna be one hell of a show, man. When he eat that.
You definitely going to
tell him bite it whole, man. Tell him bite it all up in there. You know,
you ever done one of those?
Nah, man. I've seen videos on it. Maybe if I'd get like a grand award, I'll do one. But no.
I'm gonna tell you. You know, they talk about how long your intestines are.
Right.
You literally feel that chip going through every inch of your intestines through your body. It is unreal.
Don't forget
the pain.
Don't
that
forget
you
what you did before you had that chip.
Yeah, I had the regular ghost pepper.
Exactly. So it made it worse.
Yeah. So that was definitely.
And you didn't have
rough.
anything on your stomach either.
Yeah,
All right.
I would prefer to cut my beard off before I do that. And if that's the case,
I don't know, Law. That might be pretty painful, man.
Yeah,
that might be pretty painful. All right, Mike, we got to go ahead and do a drawing here, and then we're gonna get up out of here. All right, man. Come on, spin that wheel, man. Spin that wheel. See who we got tonight. I see Lola. I see Casey Stewart. I see da-da-dun, da-da-dun, da-da-dun.
Damn,
She
Gina.
come with us too.
See, damn Gina.
I'm
I
not
see.
sure who this person is, but somebody new.
What's up, Brian SoCal, man? And
Looks like somebody new.
Arthur Mann. Arthur Mann is our winner. Email me, cowboysmark94@gmail. We got a carving that's coming out your way. Ava Hodgood, did you get your trophy yet, Ava? I hope. Can you check on that one? Because that one was signed by Michael Irvin. We can't lose that one.
wow.
It's going all the way to Alaska.
4-day shipping.
Okay, so she should probably have it by now because we dropped it out on Tuesday.
Dropped off on Tuesday, probably on Saturday.
Yeah, I know. Although one time it took like a month or something to get to Alaska. I was like, damn, did they have to send it to Russia or what?
Well, it goes to Canada to get there too.
Yeah.
Customs,
All right.
that.
All right, good
that
people.
works.
We are going to get ready to roll up out of here. So I am going to get ready to turn off the lights.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, Mark. You have a good
No, I
one.
appreciate you, Law. You know what? You made me feel honored being on the show with you. Shout out to everybody on your channel that's there. We definitely need to do some more stuff together because we're Cowboy fans. We got to stick together. You know, the thing is, you may not like what I do, but you know what? That's cool because we have so many great Cowboy YouTubers out there. There's definitely a flavor for everybody. And the reality is we may not agree on this player, that player, but what we do agree is we want to see the Cowboys succeed. So definitely show all of the YouTubers some love because see, Law Nation, he is nothing but the best, and he speaks the word that you really want to hear. Because there's a lot of guys out there that are going to give you a whole lot of